Quit the charade, Nancy Pelosi. That is the message, strong message from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. You know, on Friday, we talked about options that could be available to the U.S. Senate. One of the options would be that, well, maybe the president hasn't actually been impeached because there have been no House managers named, and the House has not yet delivered the impeachment articles to the U.S. Senate. There is another option. We remember on Friday we told you we would continue to analyze these. I even talked about them on Fox and Friends on Saturday morning. There was another option that the Senate, under the Constitution, could just move forward with the trial. Now, as we did our research, I want to go right to Than Bennett because, Than, though the Constitution would certainly allow that, absolutely allows it, because the Senate has the sole power to try the impeachment. They could move forward, but they would have to do a pretty significant rule change.
Yeah, to change the standing rules of the Senate, Jordan, it requires a 2/3 vote of the United States Senate, so 67 votes. Now, there's always a debate when it comes down to the standing rules of the Senate, whether or not it's a reinterpretation of existing rules. We have seen this on a number of issues, Jordan. I can think about it during the reconciliation process. I can think about it when lowering the threshold for confirming federal judges. So there is some room for debate even on that measure, but I think most in the Senate would believe that this would be a change to the standing rules of the Senate, so it would require 67 votes, a threshold that they are not likely to get over. But Jordan, I would just underscore one fundamental point. No matter where you fall on that issue, constitutionally, according to the Constitution, I do believe this is now in the purview of the United States Senate, and I'm 100% sure about this, Jordan. While Speaker Pelosi had control of the proceedings while it was in the United States House, she cannot dictate how the U.S. Senate will proceed. Remember, they rushed it out of the House because they said they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for President Trump's rights to be adjudicated when it came to witnesses. But what is she trying to dictate now that it's in the United States Senate? She is trying to dictate that they call witnesses that she herself was not willing to wait for that process to Senate. Jordan, crystal clear on this. She cannot control both chambers.
She wants to label the president as an impeached president, but she's actually expressed the fear that the trial in the Senate will actually be fair to President Trump. So she would like to rig the trial, if she can, by placing pressure on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. But constitutionally, she doesn't have the power to do so. Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6 and 7 provide the Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. So if you read all of those constitutional provisions carefully, there is no role for House Speaker Pelosi. There is no role for Adam Schiff or Jerry Nadler. So they have to decide, I think, whether the president has indeed been impeached or not. And certainly there's an argument that he has been impeached, and therefore he is entitled to a trial in order to clear his name. And I think that's the crucial issue. President Trump would be entitled to a trial consistent with the Constitution, and Nancy Pelosi wants to deprive him of that right because she fears that he will be acquitted, and then the House of Representatives will be left with egg on its face